Well, when that sentence was announced this afternoon, the reactions both here outside the Government Center and in South Minneapolis looked and sounded quite a bit different than they did on the day of the verdict. I spoke to people in both locations who told me they shared the Floyd family's desire for a 30-year sentence, and when that didn't happen, they experienced quite the range of mixed feelings and emotions.
I was talking to a friend of mine. I was saying there's no word to describe the mood or emotion. You know, it's, for me, I've been very in between. You know, you're on the one hand, you know it's not enough. Then there's the other part of me that goes, well, if I look at the pattern of history in sentencing officers, we're actually kind of making progress. So I'm glad that I came down here, because at first I was really mad. And coming down here kind of reinstilled that hope. So I don't think there's a word to describe the emotion, you know. I think if anything, it's just like, okay, so where do we go next? What's the next work to do?
I don't feel overwhelming joy. I don't feel overwhelming sadness. I feel like the right thing was done, which should be the normal in our country and in our justice system.
Seth Martin lived just a couple of blocks away from 38th in Chicago when George Floyd was murdered. And as lead pastor of Brook Community Church in Minneapolis, he said today he is grateful for accountability and not just for the Floyd family.
For former Officer Chauvin, if he allows accountability, if he allows this moment, this time to truly penetrate his heart, who knows, transformation could happen in his life, and accountability could end up being a good thing for him as well.
In an opinion article published in the Washington Post this morning, Pastor Martin wrote that he's unsure if the verdict has actually changed our community at large, but after the sentencing, he considers himself cautiously hopeful.
I feel relieved for the family that he is going to face a considerable amount of time. And then I feel hopeful. I do believe this helps to establish and set some precedent, not just in our justice system, but also hopefully it sets a new precedent in people's hearts and their minds as they reflect and think about how we're to treat one another, how we're to engage one another, and the consequences for when we fail to do so. But I am also cautious, though I'm grateful, because I am cautious and concerned that when the cameras have gone, when the sentencing is done and all these things like that, that we might slip back into apathy if we're not careful.
I think the main thing that I want people to remember is it's not even about showing up today, it's about showing up all the time for these families. They are the ones we need to show up for. When they have the press conferences, when they have the protests, the rallies, we need to make sure we pack it out for them, the families who don't get this attention.
That was a common theme throughout the crowd today, with many impacted by the words of the Floyd family both during and after sentencing, realizing how much they continue to go through. And of course, with more trials on the horizon and an upcoming case of Daunte Wright, the community support is needed now more than ever. Jana?
And as Kent alluded to, at least in the case that still centers around the murder of George Floyd, the 3 other officers charged in that death will be on trial next March.